Hey Flo here. I'm back so soon because I saw this nice view here. It's it's going to be the same kind of view because those mountains are there, but it's hard to resist when it looks so cool. Even if I do the same kind of angle, it's not going to be too many times where I get to be out like this, so it's good. Different enough. That dock out there is where I was sitting a few minutes ago. Let me make sure we look good. I think we're good. So I'm going to do a Bible reading here and then keep moving along. Oh, I don't really like this option for a sitting place, but I'll try it and see what it's like. Oh, I forgot. Okay. Oh, just even getting down to where I can even sit down is kind of annoying. It's actually not bad, except for every time I sit on the rocks, it hurts a lot. Usually my legs usually go to sleep. I keep wondering when I'm going to have the last nice day of the year, and they just keep coming to my amazement and joy. All right, so we're going to be reading 2 Chronicles 10 to 12 and Romans chapter 2 this time. Probably won't get super far because I do want to make it a lot about the Bible readings, but I also want to explore this area. I might just have to come back here like 100 times just to have enough opportunity to explore all there is here, because it's a giant lake, and I could walk. I don't know if I can walk all the way around it, probably, but there might be some private property. I have no idea, but yeah, it would take days to get around this thing. Even if I wasn't live streaming and I was just going straight through, it would be a very long walk. Well, I'm thinking about it. If I ever think about it, I need to do these things, otherwise I'll forget. I don't think I can do this with my left hand, unfortunately. I'd have to I should make a little switch where I can move the buttons around so I could use either hand. That'd be kind of nice. Second Chronicles chapter 10. Then Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel had gone there to make him king. When Jeroboam son of Nebat heard about this, he returned from Egypt, where he had fled from King Solomon. So they sent for Jeroboam, and he and all Israel came to Rehoboam and said, "Your father put a heavy yoke on us, but now you should lighten the burden of your father's service and the heavy yoke he put on us, and we will serve you." Rehoboam answered, "Come back to me in 3 days." So the people departed. Then King Rehoboam consulted with the elders who had served his father Solomon during his lifetime. "How do you advise me to respond to these people?" he asked. They replied, "If you will be kind to these people and please them by speaking kind words to them, they will be your servants forever." But Rehoboam rejected the advice of the elders. Instead, he consulted the young men who had grown up with him and served him. He asked them, "What message do you advise that we send back to these people who have spoken to me, saying, 'Lighten the yoke your father put on us'?" The young men who had grown up with him replied, "This is how you should answer these people who said to you, 'Your father made our yoke heavy, but you should make it lighter.' This is what you should tell them. 'My little finger is thicker than my father's waist. Whereas my father burdened you with a heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. Whereas my father scourged you with whips, I will scourge you with scorpions." After 3 days, Jeroboam and all the people returned to Rehoboam, since the king had said, "Come back to me on the 3rd day." And the king answered them harshly. King Rehoboam rejected the advice of the elders and spoke to them as the young men had advised, saying, "Whereas my father made your yoke heavy, I will add to your yoke. Whereas my father scourged you with whips, I will scourge you with scorpions." So the king did not listen to the people, and indeed this turn of events was from God, in order that the Lord might fulfill the word that he had spoken through Ahijah the Shilonite to Jeroboam son of Nebat. When all Israel saw that the king had refused to listen to them, they answered the king, "What portion do we have in David, and what inheritance in the son of Jesse? To your tents, O Israel. Look now to your own house, O David." So all the Israelites went home. But Rehoboam still reigned over the Israelites living in the cities of Judah. Then King Rehoboam sent out Hadoram, who was in charge of the forced labor, but the Israelites stoned him to death. And King Rehoboam mounted his chariot in haste and escaped to Jerusalem. So to this day Israel has been in rebellion against the house of David. Part of the reason I didn't want to pass up this opportunity as well is, it just, look, everything is perfect about it. Like, there's no clouds covering the mountains, the sky is blue, there's basically no movement on the water, though. That's the biggest thing. I don't know how common that is because I don't come here a lot, but I don't think it's that common because normally, like in the summer, there would be a bunch of boats and people in the water making it all ripply and probably more wind. So I think this is pretty abnormal and exceptional. So I want to take advantage of it while I'm here and take in some of this scenery. So Second Chronicles chapter 11. When Rehoboam arrived in Jerusalem, he mobilized the house of Judah and Benjamin, 180,000 chosen warriors, to fight against Israel and restore the kingdom to Rehoboam. But the word of the Lord came to Shemaiah the man of God. "Tell Rehoboam, son of Solomon, king of Judah, and all the Israelites in Judah and Benjamin, that this is what the Lord says: You are not to go up and fight against your brothers. Each of you must return home, for this word is from me." So they listened to the words of the Lord and turned back from going against Jeroboam. Rehoboam continued to live in Jerusalem, And he built up cities for defense in Judah. He built up Bethlehem, Etam, Tekoa, Beth-zur, Soko, Adullam, Gath, Marashah, Ziph, Adoraim, Lachish, Azekah, Zorah, Aijalon, and Hebron, the fortified cities in Judah and Benjamin. He strengthened their fortresses and put officers in them, with supplies of food, oil, and wine. He also put shields and spears in all the cities and strengthened them greatly. So Judah and Benjamin belonged to him. Moreover, the priests and Levites from all their districts throughout Israel stood with Rehoboam. For the Levites left their pasture lands and their possessions and went to Judah and Jerusalem, because Jeroboam and his sons had rejected them as priests of the Lord. And Jeroboam appointed his own priests for the high places and for the goat demons and the calf idols he had made. Those from every tribe of Israel who had set their hearts to seek the Lord their God followed the Levites to Jerusalem to sacrifice to the Lord, the God of their fathers. So they strengthened the kingdom of Judah and supported Rehoboam, son of Solomon, for 3 years, because they walked for 3 years in the way of David and Solomon. And Rehoboam married Mahalath, who was daughter of David's son Jeremoth, and of Abihail, the daughter of Jesse's son Eliab. She bore sons to him, Jeush, Shemariah, and Zaham. After her he married Maacah, daughter of Absalom, and she bore to him Abijah, Attai, Ziza, and Shelomith. Rehoboam loved Maacah, daughter of Absalom, more than all his wives and concubines. In all he had 18 wives and 60 concubines, and he was the father of 28 sons and 60 daughters. Rehoboam appointed Abijah, son of Maacah, as chief priest. Rehoboam appointed Abijah, son of Maacah, as chief prince among his brothers, intending to make him king. Rehoboam also acted wisely by dispersing some of his sons throughout the districts of Judah and Benjamin, and to all the fortified cities. He gave them abundant provisions and sought many wives for them. That's a lot of kids. 60 daughters and 25 sons, something like that? That's crazy. Oh man, that's insane. Completely ridiculous. But if you have that many wives, it's possible. But not something I would want to do, that's for sure. Second Chronicles chapter 12. After Rehoboam had established his sovereignty and royal power, he and all Israel with him forsook the law of the Lord. In the 5th year of Rehoboam's reign, because they had been unfaithful to the Lord, Shishak king of Egypt came up and attacked Jerusalem with 1,200 chariots, 60,000 horsemen, and countless troops who came with him out of Egypt, Libyans, Sukkites, and Cushites. He captured the fortified cities of Judah and came as far as Jerusalem. Then Shemaiah the prophet came to Rehoboam and the leaders of Judah, who had gathered at Jerusalem because of Shishak, and he said to them, "This is what the Lord says: You have forsaken me, therefore I have forsaken you into the hand of Shishak." So the leaders of Israel and the king humbled themselves and said, "The Lord is righteous." When the Lord saw that they had humbled themselves, the word of the Lord came to Shemaiah, saying, "They have humbled themselves, I will not destroy them, but will soon grant them deliverance. My wrath will not be poured out on Jerusalem through Shishak. Nevertheless, they will become his servants, so that they may learn the difference between serving me and serving the kings of other lands." So King Shishak of Egypt attacked Jerusalem and seized the treasures of the house of the Lord and of the royal palace. He took everything, including the gold shields that Solomon had made. Then King Rehoboam made bronze shields in their place, and committed them to the care of the captains of the guard on duty at the entrance to the royal palace. And whenever the king entered the house of the Lord, the guards would go with him, bearing the shields, and later they would return them to the guard room. Because Rehoboam humbled himself, the anger of the Lord turned away from him, and he did not destroy him completely. Indeed, conditions were good in Judah. Thus King Rehoboam established himself in Jerusalem. He was 41 years old when he became king, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city the Lord had chosen from all the tribes of Israel in which to put his name. His mother's name was Naamah the Ammonite. And Rehoboam did evil because he did not set his heart to seek the Lord. Now the acts of Rehoboam, from first to last, are they not written in the records of Shemaiah the prophet and of Iddo the seer concerning the genealogies? There was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam throughout their days. And Rehoboam rested with his fathers and was buried in the city of David, and his son Abijah reigned in his place. It's a bunch of flying things. I hope they're not mosquitoes. I don't really think of this being the time of year for them, but I am like right on the edge of the lake, so it's possible. All right, one more chapter and then we'll be done here. So quiet, except for those birds every once in a while. Romans chapter 2. You, therefore, have no excuse, you who pass judgment on another. For on whatever grounds you judge the other, you are condemning yourself, because you who pass judgment do the same things. And we know that God's judgment against those who do such things is based on truth. So when you, O man, pass judgment on others, yet do the same things, do you think you will escape God's judgment? Or do you disregard the riches of his kindness, tolerance, and patience, not realizing that God's kindness leads you to repentance? But because of your hard and unrepentant heart, you are storing up wrath against yourself for the day of wrath, when God's righteous judgment will be revealed. God will repay each one according to his deeds. To those who by perseverance in doing good seek glory, honor, and immortality, he will give eternal life. But for those who are self-seeking and who reject the truth and follow wickedness, there will be wrath and anger. There will be trouble and distress for every human being who does evil, first for the Jew, then for the Greek. But glory, honor, and peace for everyone who does good, first for the Jew, then for the Greek. For God does not show favoritism. All who sin apart from the law will also perish apart from the law, and all who sin under the law will be judged by the law. For it is not the hearers of the law who are righteous before God, but it is the doers of the law who will be declared righteous. Indeed, when Gentiles, who do not have the law, do by nature what the law requires, they are a law to themselves, even though they do not have the law. So they show that the work of the law is written on their hearts, their consciences also bearing witness, and their thoughts either accusing or defending them, on the day when God will judge men's secrets through Christ Jesus, as proclaimed by my gospel. Now you, if you call yourself a Jew, if you rely on the law and boast in God, if you know his will and approve of what is superior because you are instructed by the law, if you are convinced that you are a guide for the blind, a light for those in darkness, an instructor of the foolish, a teacher of infants, because you have in the law the embodiment of knowledge and truth, You then, who teach others, do you not teach yourself? You who preach against stealing, do you steal? You who forbid adultery, do you commit adultery? You who abhor idols, do you rob temples? You who boast in the law, do you dishonor God by breaking the law? As it is written, God's name is blasphemed among the Gentiles because of you. Circumcision has value if you observe the law, but if you break the law, your circumcision has become uncircumcision. If a man who is not circumcised keeps the requirements of the law, will not his uncircumcision be regarded as circumcision? The one who is physically uncircumcised yet keeps the law will condemn you, who, even though you have the written code and circumcision, are a lawbreaker. A man is not a Jew because he is one outwardly, nor is circumcision only outward and physical. No, a man is a Jew because he is one inwardly, and circumcision is a matter of the heart, by the Spirit, not by the written code. Such a man's praise does not come from men, but from God. All right. So we're on week 32, day 3 already. Oh, that was day 2 that we just did, but just finished that one. All right, I probably could actually like live stream walking around a little bit. I don't know if I will or not, but like the signal right here is really good. I just don't know how much farther it'll be like that. Probably at least till over there, so maybe I will see if I can get the gimbal going and just keep walking for a while. I don't know how good my batteries are doing, but it'd be kind of fun, I guess. Fill up my phone again. Like, it's crazy how much space this takes up when I do these streams and whatever. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna grab my backpack, start packing my stuff up. Oh man, crazy. Rock was slippery. I'm glad I didn't totally trip. Can't remember if I did the button thing. I think I did. Pretty sure. Sometimes I do it twice just to make sure, but I remember saying, oh, I gotta remember to do it. So I think I did. Okay, let's get my gimbal out. I thought my gimbal was kind of dying or something a few days ago, because I don't know, a couple weeks ago. Time flies. I don't remember when it was, but when I had it plugged in to charge it, normally it's very obvious when it's charging. The LEDs kind of do this little blinking sequence, and then there's standard, four little lights, and when all four are fully lit, it kind of means it's charged, but it wasn't doing that. And then later on, I tried turning it on without it being plugged in, and it wouldn't turn on, so I guess it just had a charging fault of some sort. So I thought, oh great, I guess my gimbal's dying. But then I don't know, I just tried it again, and I left it overnight, and it eventually charged. So I don't know what that was all about. Temporary, hopefully, but I don't know. I've used this thing a lot, so just like my 360 camera that went out, if this ends up going out someday, I won't feel too terrible about it as far as getting a good amount of use out of it, but obviously I hope that doesn't happen. When you have money, it can be kind of fun when something goes out, because that can be a time to buy something new. But what is up with this? Something is weird on the rotation of this thing. It's not right. I can't. Oh, I know what I did wrong too on the cords. I'm supposed to put this in there. I'll eventually get this settled. All right, there we go. Finish backing up, and then I'll be on my way. Oh, after the experience of the last 2 days ago when I had to record all those, I'm thankful to be able to live stream again, even though nothing really happens on my live stream typically, just as far as people dropping by. It's still it's so much easier to do the editing later. It's still quite a bit of work, but compared to what I have to do when there's no signal, that's a nightmare how much work I have to do. Okay. I should probably charge my other phone. Almost started live streaming on a new platform today, but because I talked to the guy that makes Social Streamer, I told him about this new site that he didn't really know about, and he said he'd keep an eye on it to see whether it's worth adding, and because it's a small site that nobody uses, but I guess he just decided to add it in his spare time or whatever. So I could theoretically add another destination, but this backpack is trash. I didn't because I didn't have a real way to test it before I left, so decided not to worry about it this time. Plus, I'm not really live streaming that much these days anyway, so. Okay, yeah, this is at 50% already. Definitely should charge it. Okay, I'm almost ready now. Takes 8 years. That sucked. What? That's trash. Oh, that's just so stupid. The wind screen for my microphone doesn't stay on anymore since it's falling off every 3 seconds. Alright, let's see how far I can go. I also have this on kind of too high of a bit rate because when I'm doing my local recordings, I sometimes turn it up just so I can have a better looking recording to work with. And so I don't know if it might cause problems when I'm live streaming. It's better to have it at a lower bit rate so it doesn't like cut in and out all the time, but oh well. And there's like nobody here. I think there's probably one person or group of people here because there was one car in the parking lot. That's it. But there's like a campground here, which I'm pretty sure is closed for the season, so I wouldn't really expect anybody to be there. But I don't know. It's just like a really nice place to come, as you can see. So it's kind of shocking to me that there's not more people here. Even on like days that just make sense for people to be here, like on the weekends in the summer, it's not usually that crowded. Of course, I did mention this earlier, and it's true, I haven't really been here a lot, so I can't speak for how it is all the time. There's kind of a user-made trail here. Just people come here enough because there's the campgrounds. But there's no official trail. Like there's no marked trail on any maps, and I don't know how established this trail that I'm on is, or how far it'll go. But I'm going to go as far as I can, whether there's a trail or not. Just do some bushwhacking or whatever I need to do. That's nice. This is, I mean, it's tempting to just keep doing more Bible readings because, like, how can you beat that? That's awesome. Thing is, it's just gonna keep looking like that. Like it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna let up at all. So I don't know if I should just do 1,000,000 Bible readings here, or just wait for the ultimately extraordinarily spectacular spots. I mean, what can you really get much better than this? I don't know. It's pretty awesome. But I've already done 2 readings with the mountains in the background, but I don't know, it's just cool to have that little bit of grass going across there and the reflections of the trees. I think I'll keep going though. It's very tempting to just stop at every single spot that looks awesome, but like I said, I don't think it's ever going to stop. It's just going to be awesome, awesome, awesome every 2 seconds. I don't know where in the world there's a cell tower. I can see some stick thing way in the distance on that mountain. That could be what I'm connected to. If that's it, then as long as I continue to see that in the distance, maybe I'm okay. Like, I mean, maybe the signal will be really good. That seems probable that it could be over that way, but I really don't know for sure. Oh, there's so many cool places to hang out here. Just bring a chair. I don't know if you're allowed to camp here, but just hang out. It's amazing. A little bit muddy here. Quite a bit muddy, actually. Oh wow, I guess I'm still in the campground because there's some picnic tables over there. Didn't realize it came this far. I'd really like to do more camping. It's something I really enjoy, but there's certain aspects of it that I'm not like super experienced with, and so I think that's part of the apprehension that I have, and why I don't do it more is I just haven't done it enough throughout my life to feel like I'm, just an avid camper or know all the tricks of how to set up and make it not, make it a little bit more painless and whatever, or enjoyable. I enjoy it in general, but like there's a lot of setup and gear that you have to purchase or think about. I think that's why a lot of people don't like camping, is you have to maintain quite a bit of equipment and have a place for it in your basement or attic, or it's just a lot of stuff you have to take around. think that was kind of when I was growing up. My parents and I went camping, I don't know how many times, but maybe, let's just say 10 or 15 times total, not like tons of times. And I think my dad especially was didn't really enjoy the set up and tear down and just the whole packing process, all the stuff, all the tents and canopies and stoves and all that stuff that you generally have to take. Oh, we got it's a little bit different over here. The wind is coming around the this edge of the lake. It was very smooth over there, and now it's changing. This here would be an awesome spot too. There's these rocks right in front of me I could sit, but there's going to be rocks pretty much a big part of the way around because this whole area is covered with lava. Oh wow, there's actually a survey spot there. That's kind of cool. So yeah, I'm not just gonna try to resist stopping at every place because there's kind of infinite occasions, those places. Same with taking pictures. It's I'm in a completely different spot than last time, but when you just point your camera at the mountains and out into the water, I can't really tell. It's a different spot. It's basically the same view. So yeah, it's looking quite apparent that whatever that thing I see over on that mountain is probably the cell tower or something, because I'm not losing signal as I come this direction and I can still see back that way. However, if I go, looks like I have to go back around this way to get around this little inlet or bay or whatever it is, and that might put some material between me and the tower, and I might get cut out. Oh, this is a very nice campground. There's at least two kinds of camping that I'm aware of. Well, there's more, obviously. The major ones, though, are pack in, hike in kind of camping. Yeah, that would include backpacking. And then there's I guess what people call car camping, or I guess there's many different types, because you got car camping, you got RV camping, tent camping, but I kind of throw all those into the camping at a campground category. And maybe you just call all of that car camping or something, but anyway, I guess I've probably done equal amounts of both. I have done some backpacking over the years, but I haven't done a ton of it. And I've done some campground type camping. I don't know, for some reason the campground stuff appeals to me more these days, just because it kind of brings memories back of times that I had with church groups and when my family and I went and stuff like that. So it's good memories with community, with people and stuff. And it wouldn't be very fun at all to me if I just did that kind of camping by myself. That sounds kind of, I don't know, not very exciting. But if you're part of some group, like a church or something, most churches have a annual camp out type thing. At least most of the churches I've ever gone to. It's kind of a American tradition. Pretty common here. So I've gone to a few of those, not a ton, but maybe I've gone to a total of 10 of those events over the years. Always enjoyed them, though. It's a good way to get to know people. couple times, at least one time in particular I can remember, I went to a camp out very shortly after starting to go to the church, and it kind of felt awkward and out of my comfort zone because I'm not a outgoing person, but I feel like by the end of that time I felt more like I was part of the family or the community, because if you just go to church on Sunday in the mornings and you may or may not talk to people or get to know people. I've gone to churches for years that I feel like I don't know anybody. So events like that are really a great way to get connected. Another church, I think it was actually that same church. I hadn't been going there very long, and I went on a missions trip. And that was cool. That was my first missions trip. I like this spot, like that little peninsula there is pretty cool. So I'm considering stopping here, but there's another rock over there. I don't know if that one has as cool of a setting as this. I kind of like this spot. Oh wow, and then I wasn't even looking over here, but there's the mountains again. I just never stop. This is a great place. This is an amazing place. This is where everybody should go. I mean, I'm kind of glad they don't. Kind of feels like a hidden gem or something. Like, I don't understand why there's not a million people here. But, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I think there's a lot of people that do outdoor stuff and whatnot. And so I can't say that I'm exceptional or whatever. But, like, I lived in Idaho for a year. Took a random job and moved over there for a year, and I didn't have any friends or community, so I just went hiking after work every day as often as I could, and I did massive amounts of hiking. And what I found over there, which was very strange to me, it was uncanny and absolutely blew my mind, is I almost never saw anybody on the trails at all, ever. Like, I was the only one out hiking, practically, in the entire area. And I know part of it was that I went probably at days and times that most people have obligations or something, I guess. I don't know. But even on the weekends, when I felt like there should be a bunch of people, I almost never saw anybody. That was really surprising. Hi, Rez. Good afternoon. Surflow, watching, listening while cleaning my house. Nice. Noise. That's something I should probably do, but I never do. I have this is cool. I collect magnetic sand, and whenever you see this like really dark stuff, it's almost guaranteed to be highly concentrated black sand or magnetic sand. So I have to make a point of the fact that there's some here. Got you full screen on the living room TV with Dolby Surround. Nice. Yeah, this place is awesome. But yeah, I'll probably I don't know if I'll come back here, because I know some other places that are a little bit easier to access, but this is some pretty high concentrates here. You just get a magnet and pull it up. I don't know, it's pointless. There's no reason to do it, but I collect the stuff for whatever silly reason. I just find it interesting. Looks beautiful there. The water looks crystal clear. It is, yeah, pretty much. I'm amazed that it's this nice this late in November. It's kind of surprising. Like, oftentimes it's snowing in October and certainly in November. Not to the point where it's like starting to accumulate massively necessarily, but we've barely gotten any so far, which is surprising. I think we got one little light dusting. And I don't know if that means anything. It could mean like this year won't be that extreme. Or maybe it's just saving up for later and it'll be like the worst winter ever. I have no idea. It's warmer here, really. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what that means. I always hear people say things about what they think it's going to be like, whether it's a reputable source of like a weather person or if it's just some random guy with a feeling in his bones or whatever. But it seems like somebody was telling me they thought it was going to be a really harsh winter, and it's like, okay, yeah, I guess that's what you think it's going to be, but I have no idea. 60s next week in Illinois. Here's pretty rare for November. Oh yeah, man, Illinois. That's super far north. It's super cold up there in the winter, I hear. I've never been there, but that is weird. I might have to do another reading here. It's pretty nice. Even though I'm not really in that much of a different position, I feel like I'm way closer to the mountains now. Maybe I kind of am, a little bit closer. They look bigger on the screen. I could make them even look bigger if I put the camera like farther back and use the zoom. That would be kind of nice. I think I'll do another Bible reading here just cause I think I might try that trick too. I've done that a couple times, sort of like one of those, I don't know what it's called, that camera trick like on the hobbits when they were in the forest and the black riders were coming after them. They do that rolling camera trick. Bit north, less north than some other states though. Yeah, also down south, sort of a tail state, if you know what I mean. Yeah, for sure. I think that's where pretty sure that's where Rowdy Souls were from originally, or I mean, I don't know originally, but I think they used to live outside of Chicago, which of course is more north in Illinois, but yeah, they moved down south to do their homesteading thing. All right, I am going to get my stuff set up here and try to do a nice cam angle reading here. Hopefully I can figure out a position to get my camera far back enough that I can do that zoom in trick. That could look pretty cool from a distance, I think. Ooh. Not sure how far back I can. I mean, I could put the tripod way over there in that grass. Even just the grass is cool. Like, I try to get not necessarily the most scenic spot of all, although I do that as well. But I also like getting unique shots. Like, this is unique because this is big, thick grass stuff. I don't think I've gotten any shots in that. So, who knows? Maybe I'll just turn the camera around after I'm done and do that also. We'll see. I can just sit out on those rocks. I don't have to get my chair out necessarily. It's generally more comfortable to use my chair, but it takes time. All this stuff takes too long. There's a ton of feathers here. This must be nesting grounds for ducks and geese and stuff like that. Be my guess. Yeah, I've been kind of, I don't know if you're still here or anybody, but kind of been disconnected from the streaming world lately, just sort of taking a break. I sometimes wonder if I'm sort of phasing out, but not necessarily, but I think I've talked to you about this before. It's just kind of, I always wonder, like, how much longer I'll be doing this stuff. Oh, I see what's going on. I'm like, why can't I get this tripod set up? I see now. Oh, we definitely need the wind screens for this one. It's very windy. Alright, how far back can we go over here? Get this angle that I'm looking at. See, here's all that feathers and stuff. Oh, I didn't even notice that I could probably I can bring the camera over here and get quite a bit farther away. Seems like this will work. It's starting to get swampy over this way, so I'm not sure how far back I can go without getting my feet wet. I don't know if this actually will be any advantage. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I can't necessarily, I mean, it looks cool back here just for the scale of things, like to have all that grass in the foreground, I guess. Looks kind of nice, but I guess I can't change the camera thingy, I don't think. Okay, I guess I can't. It's sort of using the virtual cameras, which is annoying. There. Maybe that'll work. What was that? Something just fell over. I don't really remember dropping anything, but just heard a thud. I hope I didn't drop something. Actually, maybe I won't zoom in because all the grass and the sky in the background look pretty cool. It's pretty nice. Yeah, I don't really need to zoom in. I don't know why this tripod like shifts back and forth. Pretty sure it's because I need to tighten the thing inside there and I keep forgetting to do it. Did it once and then it immediately got loose again. It's super annoying. Okay, I think this is fine. Alright, so I need to get stuff set up. Oh, windy. It's going to be a problem for the shakiness a little bit. Oh well. Alright, that's what we're going to be reading. 1 Kings 15, 1-24, 2 Chronicles 13 to 16, and Romans 3. This is a little bit longer reading than the last couple that I did. I think maybe I will get my chair out because otherwise I'll be sitting on the rocks and kind of can't really see what I'm doing. Don't know for 100% certain if the chat is working. I think I got it on, but sometimes it just goes out to lunch and I can't really always tell. Oh, that looks cool back that direction too. Sun is shining on all that grass and stuff. I don't think I'm going to get too far today, like at this rate. I haven't even gotten out of the campground yet. There's too much to see here. I can't just skip it all. It's hard to just keep going without stopping and seeing all this stuff. I found one of my magnets for this thing so I can use it that way again, which is nice. I guess that'll guard from the wind a little bit better. Put it under my shirt. I haven't done that in a long time. Problem with this stupid wireless mic is it can transmit through giant, like 30 feet of solid rock, which is insane. I don't know how that's possible, but it can't transmit through a single human body. It's very weird. So if I turn around like this and face the mountains, there's a pretty good chance it might break up. But if there was a giant mountain in front of me, between the camera, it'd be fine. Oh, I can't remember if I started the recording on this thing. I think I kept it going the whole time. I think we're good. I don't think this is the best place ever, because that little weird bush thing might be... it's kind of right in front of me, I think. Maybe I'll... I don't know. There's a place... This is the cool spot because it's like right on the end, but I don't want to be completely blocked by the stuff. Maybe I'll just sit right here. Not that anyone's gonna complain if they can't see me, but you know, I just like to do things right, I guess. Oh, let's see, I need a rock. It's windy enough that if I leave some of this unprotected, it could get blown into the lake. Leaving my stuff in like 3 different piles. Hopefully I remember to collect them all before I leave. Alright, now I'm facing the camera, so the microphone should be fine. I'm gonna check something here. Okay, I think we're good. This is awesome. This place is ridiculous. I could just hang out here all day, any day. Oh, it's so perfect. I can't really imagine it getting much better than this. I wonder if that wind is going to go through this thing. It depends on which angle I hold it. Alright, let's do the reading. I'm definitely not going to get very far, but no regrets. I get very far in the hike because I'm doing all the readings and seeing all these awesome places, but I'm just like relaxing and enjoying the scenery, so I can't really complain. First Kings chapter 15. In the 18th year of the reign of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, Abijam became king of Judah, and he reigned in Jerusalem 3 years. His mother's name was Maacah, daughter of That's a different spelling. His mother's name was Maacah, daughter of Abishalom. And Abijam walked in all the sins that his father before him had committed, and his heart was not as fully devoted to the Lord his God as the heart of David his forefather had been. Nevertheless, for the sake of David, the Lord his God gave him a lamp in Jerusalem by raising up a son to succeed him and to make Jerusalem strong. For David had done what was right in the eyes of the Lord, and had not turned aside from anything the Lord commanded all the days of his life, except in the matter of Uriah the Hittite. And there was war between the houses of Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days of Abijam's life. As for the rest of the acts of Abijam, along with all his accomplishments, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? And there was war between Abijam and Jeroboam. And Abijam rested with his fathers, and was buried in the city of David, and his son Asa reigned in his place. In the 20th year of Jeroboam's reign over Israel, Asa became king of Judah, and he reigned in Jerusalem 41 years. His grandmother's name was Maacah, son of Abishalom. And Asa did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, as his father David had done. He banished the male shrine prostitutes from the land, and removed all the idols that his fathers had made. He also removed his grandmother Maacah from her position as queen mother, because she had made a detestable Asherah pole. Asa chopped down the pole and burned it in the Kidron valley. The high places were not removed, but Asa's heart was fully devoted to the Lord all his days. And he brought into the house of the Lord the silver and gold and other articles that he and his father had dedicated. Now there was war between Asa and Baasha king of Israel throughout their days. Baasha king of Israel went to war against Judah and fortified Ramah to prevent anyone from leaving or entering the territory of Asa king of Judah. I think it's Asa. I say Asa, I have no idea, but we'll just say it every possible way. So Asa withdrew all the silver and gold that remained in the treasuries of the house of the Lord and the royal palace. He entrusted it to his servants, and sent them with this message to Ben-Hadad, son of Tebrimon, the son of Hezion, king of Aram, who was ruling in Damascus. Let there be a treaty between me and you, between my father and your father. See, I have sent you a gift of silver and gold. Now go and break your treaty with Baasha king of Israel, so that he will withdraw from me. And Ben-Hadad listened to King Asa, and sent the commanders of his armies against the cities of Israel, conquering Ijon, Dan, Abel, Beth-Makkah, and the whole land of Naphtali, including the region of Chinnereth. When Baasha learned of this, he stopped fortifying Ramah and withdrew to Tirzah. Then King Asa summoned all the men of Judah, with no exceptions, and they carried away the stones of Ramah and the timbers Baasha had used for building. And with these materials King Asa built up Geba of Benjamin as well as Mizpah. Now the rest of the acts of Asa, along with all his might, all his accomplishments, and the cities he built, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? In his old age, however, he became diseased in his feet, and Asa rested with his fathers, and was buried with them in the city of his father David, and his son Jehoshaphat reigned in his place. Hopefully it's not too ridiculously shaky. I can see that the camera's moving for sure. Not much I can do about it though. I don't think it would blow over. Hopefully not. But it's probably jiggling all over the place. Second Chronicles chapter 13. In the 18th year of Jeroboam's reign, Abijah became king of Judah, and he reigned in Jerusalem 3 years. His mother's name was Micaiah, daughter of Uriel. She was from Gibeah, and there was war between Abijah and Jeroboam. Abijah went into battle with an army of 400,000 chosen men, while Jeroboam drew up in formation against him with 800,000 chosen and mighty men of valor. Then Abijah stood on Mount Zemaraim in the hill country of Ephraim and said, "Hear me, O Jeroboam, and all Israel. Do you not know that the Lord, the God of Israel, has given the kingship of Israel to David and his descendants forever by a covenant of salt? Yet Jeroboam, son of Nebat, a servant of Solomon, son of David, rose up and rebelled against his master. Then worthless and wicked men gathered around him to resist Rehoboam, son of Solomon, when he was young, inexperienced, and unable to resist them. And now you think you can resist the kingdom of the Lord, which is in the hands of David's descendants. You are indeed a vast army, and you have with you the golden calves that Jeroboam made for you as gods. But did you not drive out the priests of the Lord, the sons of Aaron, and the Levites? And did you not make priests for yourselves, as do the people of other lands? Now whoever comes to consecrate himself with a young bull and 7 rams can become a priest of things that are not God's. But as for us, the Lord is our God. We have not forsaken him. The priests who minister to the Lord are sons of Aaron, and the Levites attend to their duties. Every morning and every evening they present burnt offerings and fragrant incense to the Lord. They set out the rows of showbread on the ceremonially clean table, and every evening they light the lamps of the gold lampstand. We are carrying out the requirements of the Lord our God, while you have forsaken him. Now behold, God himself is with us as our head, and his priests with their trumpets sound the battle call against you. O children of Israel, do not fight against the Lord, the God of your fathers, for you will not succeed." Now Jeroboam had sent troops around to ambush from the rear, so that while he was in front of Judah, the ambush was behind them. When Judah turned and discovered that the battle was both before and behind them, they cried out to the Lord. Then the priests blew the trumpets, and the men of Judah raised the battle cry. And when they raised the cry, God routed Jeroboam and all Israel before Abijah and Judah. So the Israelites fled before Judah, and God delivered them into their hands. Then Abijah and his people struck them with a mighty blow, and 500,000 chosen men of Israel fell slain. Thus the Israelites were subdued at that time, and the men of Judah prevailed because they relied on the Lord, the God of their fathers. Abijah pursued Jeroboam and captured some cities from him, Bethel, Jeshanah, and Ephron, along with their villages. Jeroboam did not again recover his power during the days of Abijah, and the Lord struck him down, and he died. But Abijah grew strong, married 14 wives, and became the father of 22 sons and 16 daughters. Now the rest of the acts of Abijah, along with his ways and his words, are written in the treatise of the prophet Iddo. Second Chronicles chapter 14. Then Abijah rested with his fathers and was buried in the city of David. And his son Asa reigned in his place, and in his days the land was at peace for 10 years. And Asa did what was good and right in the eyes of the Lord his God. He removed the foreign altars and high places, shattered the sacred pillars, and chopped down the Asherah poles. He commanded the people of Judah to seek the Lord, the God of their fathers, and to observe the law and the commandments. He also removed the high places and incense altars from all the cities of Judah, and under him the kingdom was at peace. Because the land was at peace, Asa built fortified cities in Judah. In those days no one made war with him, because the Lord had given him rest. So he said to the people of Judah, "Let us build these cities and surround them with walls and towers, with doors and bars. The land is still ours, because we have sought the Lord our God. We have sought him, and he has given us rest on every side." So they built and prospered. Asa had an army of 300,000 men from Judah, bearing large shields and spears, and 280,000 men from Benjamin, bearing small shields and drawing the bow. All these were mighty men of valor. Then Zerah the Cushite came against them with an army of 1,000,000 men and 300 chariots, and they advanced as far as Mareshah. So Asa marched out against him and lined up in battle formation in the valley of Zephathah near Mareshah. Then Asa cried out to the Lord his God, "O Lord, there is no one besides you to help the powerless against the mighty. Help us, O Lord our God, for we rely on you, and in your name we have come against this multitude. O Lord, you are our God. Do not let a mere mortal prevail against you." So the Lord struck down the Cushites before Asa and Judah, and the Cushites fled. Then Asa and his army pursued them as far as Gerar. The Cushites fell and could not recover, for they were crushed before the Lord and his army. So the people of Judah carried off a great amount of plunder, and attacked all the cities around Gerar, because the terror of the Lord had fallen upon them. They plundered all the cities, since there was much plunder there. They also attacked the tents of the herdsmen and carried off many sheep and camels. Then they returned to Jerusalem. Oh, that was close. A spider web or something on here. Not sure. Second Chronicles chapter 15. Now the Spirit of God came upon Azariah son of Oded. So he went out to meet Asa and said to him, "Listen to me, Asa, and all Judah and Benjamin. The Lord is with you when you are with him. If you seek him, he will be found by you, but if you forsake him, he will forsake you. For many years Israel has been without the true God, without a priest to instruct them, and without the law. But in their distress they turned to the Lord, the God of Israel, and sought him, and he was found by them. In those days there was no safety for travelers, because the residents of the lands had many conflicts. Nation was crushed by nation, and city by city, for God afflicted them with all kinds of adversity. But as for you, be strong, do not be discouraged, for your work will be rewarded. When Asa heard these words in the prophecy of Azariah son of Oded the prophet, he took courage and removed the detestable idols from the whole land of Judah and Benjamin, and from the cities he had captured in the hill country of Ephraim. He then restored the altar of the Lord that was in front of the portico of the Lord's temple. And he assembled all Judah and Benjamin, along with those from the tribes of Ephraim, Manasseh, and Simeon, who had settled among them. For great numbers had come over to him from Israel when they saw that the Lord his God was with him. So they gathered together in Jerusalem in the 3rd month of the 15th year of Asa's reign. At that time they sacrificed to the Lord 700 oxen and 7,000 sheep from all the plunder they had brought back. Then they entered into a covenant to seek the Lord, the God of their fathers, with all their heart and soul. And whoever would not seek the Lord, the God of Israel, would be put to death, whether young or old, man or woman. They took an oath to the Lord with a loud voice, with shouting, trumpets, and ram's horns. And all Judah rejoiced over the oath, for they had sworn it with all their heart. Thank you. That's weird. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to hear me. Thank you for telling me, but I'll definitely have to edit these later. Oh, great. I think my microphone fell off. I don't know when or where that happened. If it's here somewhere or if it's it could have fallen anywhere between here and like a million years ago. Thanks for telling me, Hi-Res, though. I appreciate it. That's good to know. I would have never noticed that. There's no way. So that means I'm going to I'll have to edit these later. Thankfully I have a local recording, so I can edit the audio back in later and like delete these live streams and upload them as videos, but I don't know if I can find my microphone though. That's the thing. It's literally going to be a needle in the haystack. This is a haystack. It's not a needle, but I guess you could call it a needle. That is going to be impossible to find. Literally. It will take a miracle to find that. Unless it fell off like right here. It could be anywhere. It's so small too. Noticed it's been kind of loose. lately, like the little USB thing that holds it. If I would have thought about it, I would put like a rubber band around it or something. I should have been more thoughtful about that. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yay. Okay, let's see. I don't know if this automatically reconnects. Let's find out. Okay, good. It looks like it. Woo. Yeah, it reconnects automatically. That's good. Thank you very much, Hi-Res. That's very much appreciated. I don't know if the wind blew that off or if it fell off as I was like setting up the tripod, but I don't know if I have any rubber bands with me. That's something I'll have to put on my list of things to bring. There's some kind of rubber band for that. That sucks. Oh man. So thankful I found that though, because I can't easily replace this microphone. I don't have money to buy a bunch of stuff all the time, so that would have sucked. But yeah, I'll edit these later to have the audio in them. It's annoying because that means I just have to do more editing, but oh well. I can keep an eye on that. I can kind of see it from here, so if it falls off again, I should be able to notice it. Alright, that's why I do all these stupid backup recordings and have like 10 microphones. I feel like I should have like 10 microphones, because somehow all of them will fail except for one. Alright, I'll read. I guess I'll read this whole chapter again. Just this chapter. I'm not going to read the entire reading again. That would be a lot, but I'll just read this chapter again because I didn't get too far into it. I just refreshed my chat, so if anybody said anything since Hi-Res's kind alert, I might have missed it. Second Chronicles chapter 15. Now the Spirit of God came upon Azariah son of Oded. So he went out to meet Asa and said to him, Listen to me, Asa, and all Judah and Benjamin. The Lord is with you when you are with him. If you seek him, he will be found by you. But if you forsake him, he will forsake you. For many years Israel has been without the true God, without a priest to instruct them, and without the law. But in their distress they turned to the Lord, the God of Israel, and sought him, and he was found by them. In those days there was no safety for travelers, because the residents of the lands had many conflicts. Nation was crushed by nation, and city by city, for God afflicted them with all kinds of adversity. But as for you, be strong, do not be discouraged, for your work will be rewarded. When Asa heard these words in the prophecy of Azariah son of Oded the prophet, he took courage and removed the detestable idols from the whole land of Judah and Benjamin, and from the cities he had captured in the hill country of Ephraim. He then restored the altar of the Lord that was in front of the portico of the Lord's temple. And he assembled all Judah and Benjamin, along with those from the tribes of Ephraim, Manasseh, and Simeon, who had settled among them, for great numbers had come over to him from Israel when they saw that the Lord his God was with him. So they gathered together in Jerusalem in the 3rd month of the 15th year of Asa's reign. At that time they sacrificed to the Lord 700 oxen and 7,000 sheep from all the plunder they had brought back. Then they entered into a covenant to seek the Lord, the God of their fathers, with all their heart and soul. And whoever would not seek the Lord, the God of Israel, would be put to death, whether young or old, man or woman. They took an oath to the Lord with a loud voice, with shouting, trumpets, and ram's horns. And all Judah rejoiced over the oath, for they had sworn it with all their heart. They had sought him earnestly, and he was found by them. So the Lord gave them rest on every side. King Asa also removed his grandmother Maacah from her position as queen mother, because she had made a detestable Asherah pole. Asa chopped down the pole, crushed it, and burned it in the Kidron Valley. The high places were not removed from Israel, but Asa's heart was fully devoted all his days. And he brought into the house of God the silver and gold articles that he and his father had dedicated. And there was no war until the 35th year of Asa's reign. It's a pretty long reading, quite a few chapters, but we're getting close. Just one more of these and then one in Romans. Oh man, you know what? There might be a ridiculous sunset tonight, and if there is, I'll probably try to record that. I can never tell what the clouds are going to do. Like, sometimes, like right now, it looks amazing. If there was a sunset right now, it would look awesome. But sometimes they all blow away, and there's like no clouds in the sky when the sun is setting. And then other times, it's like awesome like this, and then all of a sudden it gets completely overcast at the very last second, and you can't even see the sunset. But at the moment, it looks like there, might have a good sunset tonight. We'll see. I'll probably end up being out for the sunset. I don't know where I'm going to end up today, but I might end this live stream after this reading, just because I want to maybe hike a little bit further, and then I'm sure I'll find another place to stream or record, but I don't want to keep stopping every 10 steps that I take. So I want to get a little bit farther, I think. Especially since I do need to get to a certain spot to be able to easily hike back to where I parked. Otherwise I'll be walking in the middle of nowhere in the dark, which is not the best. Second Chronicles chapter 16. In the 36th year of Asa's reign, Baasha king of Israel went up against Judah and fortified Ramah to prevent anyone from leaving or entering the territory of Asa king of Judah. So Asa withdrew the silver and gold from the treasuries of the house of the Lord and the royal palace, and he sent it with his message to Ben-Hadad, to king of Aram, who was ruling in Damascus. Let there be a treaty between me and you, between my father and your father. See, I have sent you silver and gold. Now go and break your treaty with Baasha king of Israel, so that he will withdraw from me. And Ben-Hadad listened to King Asa and sent the commanders of his armies against the cities of Israel, conquering Ijon, Dan, Abel-Maim, and all the store cities of Naphtali. When Baasha learned of this, he stopped fortifying Ramah and abandoned his work. Then King Asa brought all the men of Judah, and they carried away the stones of Ramah and the timbers Baasha had used for building. And with these materials he built up Geba and Mizpah. At that time Hanani the seer came to King Asa of Judah and told him, Because you have relied on the king of Aram and not on the Lord your God, the army of the king of Aram has escaped from your hand. The army of the king of Aram has escaped from your hand. Were not the Cushites and Libyans a vast army with many chariots and horsemen? Yet because you relied on the Lord, he delivered them into your hand. For the eyes of the Lord roam to and fro over all the earth, to show himself strong on behalf of those whose hearts are fully devoted to him. You have acted foolishly in this matter. From now on, therefore, you will be at war. Asa was angry with the seer and became so enraged over this matter that he put the man in prison, and at the same time Asa oppressed some of the people. Now the rest of the acts of Asa from beginning to end are indeed written in the book of the kings of Judah and Israel. In the 39th year of his reign, Asa became diseased in his feet, and his malady became increasingly severe. Yet even in his illness he did not seek the Lord, but only the physicians. So in the 41st year of his reign, Asa died and rested with his fathers. And he was buried in the tomb that he had cut out for himself in the city of David. They laid him on a bier that was full of spices and various blended perfumes. Then they made a great fire in his honor. It's super windy here. I'm sure that's blowing in the mic, but oh well. Romans chapter 3. What then is the advantage of being a Jew? Or what is the value of circumcision? Much in every way. First of all, they have been entrusted with the very words of God. What if some did not have faith? Will their lack of faith nullify God's faithfulness? Certainly not. Let God be true and every man a liar, as it is written, so that you may be proved right when you speak and victorious when you judge. But if our unrighteousness highlights the righteousness of God, what shall we say? That God is unjust to inflict his wrath on us? I am speaking in human terms. Certainly not. In that case, how could God judge the world? However, if my falsehood accentuates God's truthfulness to the increase of his glory, why am I still condemned as a sinner? Why not say, as some slanderously claim that we say, let us do evil that good may result? Their condemnation is deserved. What then? Are we any better? Not at all. For we have already made the charge that Jews and Greeks alike are all under sin. As it is written, there is no one righteous, not even one. There is no one who understands, no one who seeks God. All have turned away, they have together become worthless. There is no one who does good, not even one. Their throats are open graves, their tongues practice deceit. The venom of vipers is on their lips. Their mouths are full of cursing and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood. Ruin and misery lie in their wake. And the way of peace they have not known. There is no fear of God before their eyes. Now we know that whatever the law says, it says to those who are under the law, so that every mouth may be silenced and the whole world held accountable to God. Therefore no one will be justified in his sight by works of the law, for the law merely brings awareness of sin. But now, apart from the law, the righteousness of God has been revealed, as attested by the law and the prophets. And this righteousness from God comes through faith in Jesus Christ to all who believe. There is no distinction, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and are justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and are justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus. God presented him as the atoning sacrifice through faith in his blood in order to demonstrate his righteousness, because in his forbearance he had passed over the sins committed beforehand. He did this to demonstrate his righteousness at the present time, so as to be just and to justify the one who has faith in Jesus. Where then is boasting? It is excluded. On what principle? On that of works? No. Spiders all over here. On that of works? No, but on that of faith. For we maintain that a man is justified by faith apart from works from the... For we maintain that a man is justified by faith apart from works of the law. Is God the God of Jews only? Is he not the God of Is he not the God of Gentiles too? Yes, of Gentiles too, since there is only one God, who will justify the circumcised by faith and the uncircumcised through that same faith. Do we then nullify the law by this faith? Certainly not. Instead, we uphold the law. All right. Well, that's it for this particular reading. Oh man, that was terrible with the microphone situation, but oh well, sometimes that happens. I'll fix it later. I can't believe it. I have this entire place to myself. Like, there's basically nobody here. This is crazy. Let's see. Somehow I need to gather all my stuff without it blowing away, so... Get some rocks on top of this chair. So yeah, I think I'll maybe walk the camera over here just for a minute to get another shot of this angle while I'm here, but otherwise I'll probably end it pretty soon, and then I'll find somewhere else maybe. Although I think this last bend in the lake shore, whatever, is probably the last one that I'll have a signal, because I'll go around a corner and I'll be blocked from view of the cell tower probably. Showing this grass, this opposite direction would be pretty cool looking. I don't know, I could consider that, but we'll see. It's pretty nice. Actually, right here is pretty sick also. Just like turning this 90 degrees, showing this log and that little island. I wish I could get out to that island. That would make for a cool recording. But that's easier said than done. That's a pretty nice shot, but I don't think I'll do a recording here. This would have been fine a little bit up close too. Would have been nice, but I liked that from back there. It looked cool. So that's what I did. All right, I think I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna end this stream, but I'm gonna have to walk around this big bay inlet thing, whatever you call it. It's not an inlet, I don't know terminology, but it's kind of this circle I have to walk around. There's a chance I could possibly do that whole walk without losing the signal, but I kind of want to save my battery for in case I see something unique later on. And there's a chance this could be the last actual live stream. I don't know, it just depends on if there's any cell signal over there. I'm gonna head around this. If you think, am I gonna walk around this lake? No, there's no chance. It would take probably 3 days straight, or just an extremely, like all day from sunrise to sunset at least, to get around this thing. It's really big. I've never actually measured it, but I think it's probably, I actually don't know. I'm guessing it's probably 20 miles around. I have no idea. It's definitely quite a distance though. Definitely at least well over 10 miles, that's for sure. Anyway, I'm gonna head out, pack up, and just keep hiking. If I see a place that's too amazing to resist, I might stop and do another reading. If there's a signal, I'll do a live stream. Otherwise, we'll see. But thanks for joining me. Thanks again, High Res. It's a huge blessing that you mentioned the microphone, not only because I got to fix the last part of the stream, but like I probably would have lost my microphone if I didn't notice it fell off right there, because I might have like picked it up, started walking on, and then never found it. So anyway, that was very nice of you. Anyway, I'm gonna call it good for now, and maybe I'll be on later, I don't know. But thanks again, we'll catch you later.